Hey guys, welcome back to Plot with Trish. I am Trisha, and today I'm going to talk about Heir of Fire. This is the fourth book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. So let's get to it. Um, the third book, that is The Assassin's Blade, which can be read as the first book also, was kind of a prequel, and the second book, Crown of Midnight, ended with the reveal that Selena was actually Aelin Ashrava Galathinius, heir to Terrasin, Queen of Terrasin, literally. She is half Fae and has so much power, but she is in denial. That's where Crown of Midnight ends, and Heir of Fire is a continuation to it. So Selena is sent to Wendelin to kill the prince. Yeah, Galen Ashraver in Wendelin to kill the prince. Wendelin has a lot of fae. Uh, yeah. So basically, Keol devised this plan to send her to her mother's stronghold. Yeah, where she would receive a lot of help. Of course, the fool does not realize it at first, but he's a fool and I hate him. I don't want to talk about him. So actually, this book takes place in three different areas, about three different events taking place at the same time. So it covers the events of Selena in Wendelin. It covers the events of what is happening with Kjol and Dorian in Adarlan, in Rifthold. And there's a new character named Man in Blackbeak, who is a witch. She is the heir to the Blackbeak throne, basically. Uh, it Yeah, that's the third. She's a new character. The first time I read this book, I was kind of irritated. Like, who is this woman? I want to read about Selena, but she's so damn important. Do not skip it. She's so important. Sorry. Selena is spying on Galanash River, trying to figure out how to kill him and steal the naval base plans, while she's really depressed about everything that went down in the previous book with Keal and Nehemiah's death and stuff. She's basically dying internally, literally. Then she's spying and she's basically drunk all the time, depressed. And she finally meets Rowan. Rowan is supposed to take her to Maeve. Maeve is the queen of the Fae, and she wanted to meet Maeve to know more about the word keys, how to procure them, what exactly their powers are, and how to destroy them. She wants to know the entire history. So she has to meet Maeve. And Maeve is also her great aunt from her mother's side. So turns out here the Fae are shifters, and Rowan is also a shifter. His animal form is a hawk. He was watching her in hawk form. He is a broody, non-verbal dude. Yeah, he is tattooed with long silver hair and stuff. He's like about 200, 300 years oldish, I guess. Yeah. So Rowan leads her to Maeve. Maeve is actually sitting in Mistward. Mistward is kind of like the middle point between uh, Dorinel, I mean, sorry, yeah, the normal lands and Dorinel. Dorinel is where actually all the Fays live and Maeve rules. Mistward is kind of where the Demi-Fae live because they are discriminated. They have Fae blood, but they're not fully Fae and they're only allowed inside Dorinel if they have some impressive powers, or else they have to train in Mistward. Discrimination because they're not fully fair. Nobody chooses, just born that way, or whatever. She meets Maeve, and there's a specific thing. They describe Maeve as having dark, depthless eyes, black, depthless eyes. So that's an important thing. So she's standing in front of Maeve, completely weakened, trying to ask about the word keys. And Maeve tries to use her powers to claw inside her mind to see what's in her mind. Selena obviously has a shield on, mental shield, but do those clawing inside mind powers remind you of anything? If you guys have read Akotar, it should remind you of someone, which is really sus. Anyways, so turns out Rowan is also a prince, and he has given the blood oath to Maeve. So basically, he has to follow every single one of her orders, or he dies. She literally controls him. Turns out her parents, Selena's parents, broke Maeve's laws about mixing their bloodlines, and that is why. And actually, yeah, Selena's mother had made a promise to Maeve that she would bring Selena to meet Maeve so Maeve could see her powers. Maeve is a power hungry bitch. Yeah. And her mom wanted to protect her, so she broke that promise. And that's why Maeve is a petty, spineless bitch who did not send help to Terrasin when Terrasin was attacked and taken over by Darlin. Which is pathetic of her. But she holds a grudge because she's a bitch. So she makes a deal with Selena saying that you have to train in Mistward, show me your powers, what you're actually capable of, and I will give you all the information I have regarding the word keys, the word gate, blah blah blah, the first war, all that stuff. So, and she had to train with Rowan. Only Rowan could, once Rowan decided that she was worthy, then only she would meet Maeve. Uh, so yeah, Rowan and her obviously get on to a rocky start because they don't know each other's histories. They just think of each other as egoistic, fae bastards. Yeah. Selena still refuses to give in to her fae form. Shifting is painful as hell, and she sure as hell does not want to touch her magic. She keeps suppressing all of it and it's just festering inside of her with all of her pain. I feel like she just wants to punish herself because she takes everything to be her fault and she wants to relish in that pain. Um, Rowan punches her. Yeah. Because she was showing, she said she was trying to trigger him basically. So, and she wants to be punched. She wants to feel pain. So yeah. Selena was also she was given a room in Mistward and she was supposed to work as a scullery maid with other demi-fae. I think Emrys is the head cook and he has a maid. I forgot the dude's name, but she also makes a friend named Luca. I mean, she's keeping her distance. They're all demi-fae. She's keeping her distance from them because she doesn't want anyone to get close to her, know her history. Also, she goes by the name of Elenthia over there, which is the name Nehemia had given her. She does not tell anyone she's Selena Sardotian, nor does she tell them that she's alien Ashrava Galathinius. So Rowan keeps forcing her to shift, but she refuses to shift because she's stubborn and she's afraid because that's how she's been made. She's made to feel her entire life. Yeah, it sucks. So Rowan challenges her, saying that if you pass through the Barrow Whites by facing them, I will take you directly to Dornell, and you do not need to train with me. So I did not really understand what the Barrow Whites are, but yeah, she goes into those hills, into the hills, and she does not face the Barrow Whites. She finds a man with a lot of dark powers, a pale man with dark powers, who literally surrounds her with darkness and starts feeding off of her and brings out her worst memories. And she's literally like all the worst memories she had to go through in her childhood, which led to her being Selena. And she literally pisses herself and vomits, and then somehow Rowan shows up and saves her. She was literally almost drained. Okay. What happens next? Uh, she tries to tell him what happens, but Rowan doesn't really take it seriously. And then also there are skinwalkers in that area, so they basically rip you apart and then wear your skin for a while, I guess. Yeah, those creatures are also there. So Serena and Rowan again get into it, and Rowan bites her. His bite forces her to shift in anger. She takes her fair form for the first time. And also, Rowan's powers are ice and wind, and he smells of snow and pine, which is important, snow and pine. And also, he's like literally, he's there to neutralize her. His powers neutralize hers fire, ice, and wind. Literally, he can smother her fire. So she packs her things to leave because she hates Rowan and she does not want any of it. So she's like, screw this, I'm just gonna go and figure out another way to do this. And she leaves, but she gets attacked by skinwalkers because the idiot does not listen to Rowan and lights a fire. Thank God Rowan is there watching her and he somehow manages to save her ass. And she loses her cool and finally uses her powers. I feel like she needs to be provoked constantly to use her powers. Yeah, for the first time at least. She needs to train, she needs her powers. Being Selena is not enough, she needs to be alien. So she uses her powers and incinerates the shit out of the skinwalkers. I love that part. Um, then Rowan starts bringing her to Mala's temple. Mala is the sun goddess, hoping that it could trigger her fire powers. Uh, so also in Mistward, a lot of demi-fae kept dying. Yeah, Rowan kept finding bodies of demi-fae completely drained, like, and they had a horrifying expression on their face. They were literally drained out. So Rowan and Serena get on to that task of finding what the hell is doing it. Uh, then what happens? Also, yeah, every night when she goes, she finishes cooking and eating and stuff. Emrys is actually a storyteller, so he keeps telling stories about Maeve and what happened in the first war about the Valg and stuff like that. So she keeps listening to the stories, and then Gabriel shows up. Gabriel is one of Rowan's cadre. He shifts into a mountain lion. So Serena caught him tattooing Gabriel. It felt like a personal moment. Robin obviously lashes out at Selena because fair bastards. Yeah, can't help. They get into it again. They keep getting into it. God, they keep fighting. So, Selena's powers are still not coming out after the first time she incinerated the skinwalker. She's able to shift with ease, but her powers are not coming out. She's still suffocating them inside herself. She's afraid of losing control. So Rowan kidnaps Luca. Luca is her friend. Into one of there's a mountain which opens up in a cave of ice, mountain cave, and a lake of ice. Yeah, a lake of ice. And Rowan chains Luca onto that ice. So obviously she has to use her fire to melt it carefully so that Luca does not fall into the ice. So he it was pretty dangerous where he does that, and Serena manages to free him by carefully using her powers, controlling them. She cannot lose control at any cost. But a creature, an ancient creature from another world, is there under, wants to literally eat them. So Selena finds a sword and a ring. Turns out that is Athril's sword and ring. The sword is named Goldrin. Athril was Maeve's lover who died in the First War. So Serena manages to somehow flee the creature, save Luca, and get herself, Rowan, and Luca out of that cave. They escape. So it was a close call. Yeah, Rowan is an idiot, but yeah, she managed to use her powers, so that's good. So it turns out Selena actually got her power from a fire power from her father, but just a drop of water from her mother, that is her healing abilities. She actually wanted to be a healer when she was a child. She did not want the fire. Fire has always been a burden on her. Her powers have always been a burden on her. That's an important thing to note about Selena. Ellen. Yeah. Um, what happens next? So there's some festival happening, a fire festival. So Selena and Rowan makes her use her powers, to balance herself out, to practice. And Selena keeps lighting the fires and stuff, and she forgets what the actual depth of her power is. She actually wants her powers to kill herself, so she ends up burning herself out. So Rowan saves her life, and he's a protective male. So he's taking care of her, and dumps her in ice, tries to cool her down, stop herself from burning out, because it's literally fire, dude. She's literally burning. She could die. She's almost dead. Um, so Selena starts practicing her fire, learns how to control them, form shields of fire, swords of fire. Then Rowan and Selena are still finding out about the creatures that are killing. So they find General Narok. He is one of the generals from the King of Adarlan. And they were experimenting and killing the Demi-Fae. They were experimenting with those Valg rings, trying to see how much they could take, if they could stuff the Valg inside of them and use the Demi-Fae power still. And they wear the Wordstone collars. They wear the collars. So Selena they almost get caught. Selena leads them to the skinwalkers and lets them fight amongst themselves, and she and Rowan escape with a lot of difficulty. There are a lot of close calls over here. So turns out also in the two slave areas, Calicula and Endovia. The king orders all of the slaves to be killed because there was an open rebellion and the slaves tried to kill the enforcers. So he has thousands of slaves killed. People of her court. She is heartbroken. Uh, so these creatures want to attack Mistward, and Rowan calls in his cadre to protect Mistward. Um, someone had betrayed them within Mistward, so these creatures actually knew where all the, protections that they had kept against them, and they start attacking with their dark powers and make the watchstones fail so they can enter. So Selena steps outside to protect them while Rowan is battling inside. Selena, the one of the actually the things that wear the Wordstone collars are actually Valk princes, and one of them get hold of her, and literally start draining her, bring out her worst memories. So it turns out Aelin, when she was a young princess, I think 8 years old, the king of Adarlan and Dorian had visited Terrasin. So they kind of triggered her into losing control of her powers in front of everyone. Um, the king of Adarlan obviously uses dark powers, and then she was sleeping, and then she just sneaks into her parents' bedroom at night, and she wakes up in their blood. So the king of Adarlan had killed her parents in her sleep, and she hadn't realized. She thought it was Rain, and she runs into Lady Marian's room, who had been her handmaiden or something, her mother's best friend. Um, Lady Marian actually sacrifices her life to save Aelin. Aelin runs away from whoever was trying to chase her. I think a Valk prince trying to kill her. She had the amulet of Orinth around her neck, and she plunges into the cold water because that guy cut the ropes of the bridge, and that's where Arabin had found her. So she finally faced, that's what Lady Marian's death had affected her so much that she did not want to be alien anymore. It was the festering wound, and she finally faced it. So once she faced it, she realized her actual powers. So the Valk Princess didn't actually affect her. She went from Selena to alien. That scene gave me literal chills. It was beautiful, beautiful stuff. So she becomes Aelin Galathinius, ready to be queen. And turns out Rowan and Aelin are Karanam. Karanam is a word from the ancient Fey language where it actually means that your powers are compatible. So you connect with each other and you can use raw power from the other person. It's very dangerous. You could actually suck the life out of the person, but these two were actually Karanam. So Aelin takes some of Rowan's powers and literally burns General Narok and the Valk Princess, kills them. Okay, her fire burns Valk. That's very important. So turns out Aelin undergoes revelation, realizing that the amulet of Orinth was actually the third word key. That's how all the rulers of Terrasin had actually brought their power. But the thing is, they had so much power, but they never conquered anybody. They just wanted to protect their lands because the rulers were good. So, and she also realizes that the amulet was not lost in the water where she fell. Arabin had actually taken it. The bastard. He is literally a bastard. Yeah, he is. So the news of Aelin spread like wildfire. Everybody got news that Aelin Galatines was alive, and she had the fire powers, and she burned the Valg. So finally, Rowan has to take Aelin to Maeve. She has no choice. He has no choice, even though something had changed. A lot had changed between them. So Maeve, now when they meet Maeve, they go to Dornhill. Dornhill is actually a city of stone. Okay, there's a reason for that. City of stone. Stone cannot burn, or can it? So Maeve has violet starry eyes. The first time they described Maeve was that she had dark, depthless eyes, and now she has violet starry eyes. Who does that sound like? Yeah. I did not make the connection the first time. Anyways, so Maeve tries to get more. Maeve knows that Aelin knows what the third word key is. She has not told Rowan because Maeve could summon it out of Rowan. So Maeve tells her that Brannon wasn't actually royal born. He was the first king of Adarlan, king of Terrasin, sorry. And all of Brannon's heirs have the nameless mark on their eyebrow, which also Selena has, nameless. It's the bastard mark. So, and then, yeah, Maeve has the cadder whip Rowan, knowing that Aelin has an attachment to Rowan, whip him until she tells her where the third word key is. And Aelin, of course, refuses because Maeve cannot be trusted. She just wants power. So Aelin threatens to burn the entire goddamn island down if they hurt Rowan anymore. Turns out Maeve actually killed Athril, who was her lover, for the word keys. So Athril gives the keys to Brannon, and Brannon hides the keys away from Maeve because Maeve wanted it for her own power. So Aelin bargains for Rowan's freedom in exchange for Athril's ring, the wedding ring. Maeve releases Rowan of the Blood Oath, and Rowan swears the Blood Oath to Aelin, and she gives the ring to Maeve, and she leaves. Yeah, obviously stories of her burning an entire island. The thing is, she has control over her fire now. She could literally burn the entire island, but no one else could get hurt unless she willed it so. That kind of power is crazy. I love it. So Rowan tattoos all her stories. Rowan tattoos his pain actually, all the stories. So he tattoos all of her stories about Sam, the court, about her parents, about her uncle King Orlon, Nehemia, Sam, all of it on her. And yeah, that's what Aelin's part in this thing ends. She goes from Selena to Aelin, which is amazing. So now let's talk about what's actually happening in Rifthold with Keol, Dorian, the King of Adarlan, and everything. Now that Selena is left on a mission, um, at the same time with the first part. So Keol knows all the truth about the word keys, about Selena's heritage, but Dorian doesn't know all of it. He just knows about the magic, and he's struggling with his magic. There's another character named Sorsha. She's actually a healer in the castle. She becomes friendly with Dorian, and Dorian learns her name, and they start becoming close. Meanwhile, yeah, Aiden shows up. He's actually a general, right? Yeah, he's basically working for the king. But the thing is, he's from Terrasin, and he's Aelin's cousin. They are literally twins. They're cousins, but they look like twins. They have the same hair, the same eyes, the same skin tone, the same freaking expressions. It's amazing. He's a couple of years older than her. So Aiden is back to Rifthold, and he was wearing a black ring. So Keal obviously knows all of this. He knows, he can see the black ring. He knows what it means. So, and plus he never trusted them. Dorian and Keal have kind of drifted apart because Keal doesn't want to tell Dorian and put him in danger, and Dorian also does not want to open up about his magic, even though Keal knows that he has magic. Sorsha has also been in love with Dorian for like 6 years. Uh, so he's sneaking around practicing in magic and getting injured, and Sorsha keeps patching him up. What happens next? Yeah, the King of Adarlan orders Dorian to spend more time with Aiden, and Dorian is obviously frustrated because he does not like Aiden. Um, Aiden kind of has a personality of a partier. He just wants to party all the time and enjoy and drink and revel and stuff. And he's also a ruthless killer. That's his personality, his reputation. Um, then what happens? Yeah, Dorian's magic accidentally erupts in front of Sorsha, and something she says gets him triggered. And Sorsha's understanding keeps his secret and starts helping him to control the magic. She finds ways to, she researches, and um, she starts giving him iron supplements and stuff because iron tamps down magic, so he can control it easily. Turns out Aiden was actually pretending to be all of this stuff, pretending to attend parties and screw people and stuff. And he was actually going and meeting rebels. Kale actually follows him to find out what the hell he's up to. And Kale gets caught. He always gets caught because he's a freaking idiot. I hate him. He's useful in this book, but he pisses me off in the next book. A lot. So turns out Aiden was actually wearing a fake ring. A fake ring. Sorry, fake ring. He has Fey heritage, so his Fey senses are still strong even without magic. So he could actually sniff out the fact that there was something wrong with the ring. So he swaps it out for a fake ring. So the King of Adalian assumes that he is under his control. So Aiden is in league with the rebels, and Keol was about to die. So he tells him everything about Selena, the fact that she's there and everything. Obviously, Aiden is overjoyed that his cousin is alive and his queen is alive. He's overjoyed. Keol and Aiden make a deal, information for information. He does not tell him all the information about the word keys, word gates, and all that, and what Alien is up to right now. Obviously, because he wants to save his life. So Keol and Aiden meet in the tombs, where Elena's sarcophagus is and stuff. And Dorian also goes down there to practice. I don't know what he's going down there for. I forgot. But he goes down there and he overhears the entire conversation, finds out the truth about Selena, what she actually is, feels extremely betrayed by Keol because it was always Keol and Dorian against Aiden. But now Keol and Aiden have become buddy. And he learns all the truth and he's just like, just keep me away from it. I won't tell anyone, just leave me out of it. I'm done with you people. Uh, the other rebel who attacked Keol in the previous book is actually Ren Murtaugh. He is an important member of Terrasin. He's a royal family member. He and his grandfather. He was actually attacked when they were trying to meet, and Keol was trying to give them information. But they were attacked by the king's soldiers, but Keol actually didn't recognize them because they were the Valg soldiers. So Keol actually has a theory that the magic was stopped by a spell that was triangulated. Keol and Aiden find out information from different people at the parties talking to them. So it turns out a tower was built in Nol and in Amaroth, and the soldiers who were guarding those towers actually pounded their heads against the towers and killed themselves uh, because of the severe headaches. So obviously they make the connection that it's the same clock tower that was built in the king's castle, and they swap theories about what actually happened the day magic disappeared, and they realize that once these three towers were connected, magic stopped everywhere. So if you knock down one tower, magic will be free again. Keol figures it out. uh, they also meet Rolf, the pirate lord, and apparently he stays away from the dead islands because they could hear roaring and creatures, and they could see a man with a black collar, and black collar. It was the same creature that Selena and Rowan are facing in Mistworld. Keol makes Dorian test his theory. He makes about the three towers connecting, and Dorian just knocks one tower out, and Keol gets a final confirmation that if you actually knock one tower out, you can be free. While they are doing all this, Dorian was with Sorsha, but then they get caught, and they are summoned to the king's chambers. And yeah, even Keol and Aiden are summoned to the king's chambers, and Sorsha gets killed because it turns out she's a rebel, she's a traitor. She's been informing the rebels, Ren, about what's actually happening in the castle. She gets caught and she gets killed. Obviously, that traumatizes the shit out of Dorian because he loves her so much. They were planning on running away together, but they waited until this time because, I don't know, Kale should have got them out, bro. She was innocent. She was a good person. And she dies, and uh, Aiden calls himself the traitor, reveals himself as a traitor to spare Dorian, Kale, and Sosha before Sosha is killed. But then the king was like, wow, I expected Sosha to be the traitor, not you. But he kills Sosha anyways. And then Dorian reveals his power to the king by knocking him out and leaving Kale to run. So Kale runs, escapes for his life, gathers Selena's books, the Walking Dead and stuff, about word gates, word stones, all that stuff. And the king puts the wordstone collar, as in a Valk prince, in Dorian. And we lost Dorian. And Aiden is imprisoned. So that's what happened. It was, I don't know, I cried for Dorian. I felt so horrible for him. So now we're going to talk about Man in Blackbeak. She is the heir to the Blackbeak witch clan, and the intro is that's her intro. She's a witch, an Iron Teeth witch. She is extremely beautiful. They don't age, by the way, although they have started aging since magic has disappeared. So she stopped aging when she was like 16, but now she looks like a 20-year-old. But she's like 100, more than 100 years old. Yeah. She has moon white hair. She has iron teeth, iron nails. Of course, she can take out her teeth. Her teeth go in and out, the iron teeth. The iron teeth is for killing. She loves killing and drinking human blood, although they never attack women and children. No, I think only children or women and children. I'm not sure. But I like I said, there are Kroken witches and Iron Teeth witches. Kroken witches take on their fail lineage, and Iron Teeth go according to the Valk. Basically, they're the direct children of Valk. So she has black gold eyes also, which is an important thing. She has black gold eyes. Remember that. So it starts out with her looking for Kroken witches to kill, but she could not find a Kroken in a long time. So she lures some villagers and then she kills them and eats them, rips them apart. They're idiots. Screw them. They thought that she was a Kroken witch and wanted to kill her, so she kills them instead. Fair's fair. Then Manin gets summoned by her grandmother, um, who is, I don't know, yeah, she's a matron of the Black Bee clan. She's like, she's an asshole. I hate her. I hate her so much. Her rules and regulations. I just want to kill her. Although if I ever come forth before her, she'd probably kill me. Anyways, Manon goes to meet Duke Parrington because her grandmother is with them, and Manon realizes that they all smell wrong. The humans around them, they smell wrong. She's obviously smelling the Valg of them. They smell wrong, but she doesn't know that. So Manon is actually the leader of the 13, as in 13 witches. 13 are the most powerful witches, Iron Teeth witches. So Manon had to send the 13 to gather all the witches to the Ferian Gap. Turns out the king made a deal with her grandmother that because he needs riders for his wyverns. That's what the flapping wings were that Naimia was sensing, wyverns. Uh, so if they become his riders, then they had to help him defeat whoever was warring against him, and then they could keep the wyverns and go get their western base, the Witchland. So that was the deal. So they had to train to ride the wyverns, choose their wyverns. So the 13 rode some wyverns, and they picked their wyverns. Turns out there would also be a witch game, yeah, the witch games, which would decide who would actually lead the clan. And obviously, her grandmother wanted Manon to become the leader. She is a ruthless psycho freak woman. Okay, there's something wrong with her. Also, yeah, there are three clans, I told you, right? Yellowlegs, Blackbeaks, and Blue Bloods. So these three clans had to fight against each other, choose the wyverns, participate in the witch games, and whoever was the winner would become the leader. So the time has come for Manon to choose her wyvern. So she's looking into the wyvern cages and she's looking at Titus. Titus is actually a great beast, the biggest wyvern there, the most brutal. So she obviously wanted Titus. And Iskra, she is a yellow leg bitch. She shoves Manon inside the cage where Titus is kept. The wyvern obviously isn't trained and wants to rip her apart, wants to eat her. So these wyverns actually have bait beasts that are the smaller wyverns uh, to practice on them to show how well they are good. They are at killing, how good they are at killing. So the bait beast actually saves Manon and ends up killing Titus, which is awesome. And Manon feels the threads of fate connecting her to that bait beast, and she takes that bait beast as her own. She chooses that as a wyvern and names him Abraxas. Wyverns are kind of like dragons, yeah. And obviously, Manon's grandmother is pissed off because she chose a bait beast. It's obviously an embarrassment, so she punishes Manon. And so Manon wants to make her Abraxas really powerful because they've cut his tail off and basically mutilated him, and so she puts iron teeth and iron nails on Abraxas to make him more deadly. Uh, she's training with Abraxas, but he is unwilling to fly. He's scared. She finally forces them to fly, and they make the flight. Almost dies. They almost die, but they make it. But his wings are still weak, so Manon goes to the Rune Mountains where spider silk is made by those Stygian spiders, and she somehow fools those damn spiders and steals the spider silk and escapes. And she sews the spider silk into his wings for more protection. So his wings are basically glittery. Also, Abraxas and Manon have a unique sort of connection more than any other Wyvern and a rider. They can actually understand each other and speak to each other. It's nice. Um so there was something called the crossing where all the Wyverns and their riders have to make it. So Abraxas and Manon finally make the crossing. Then uh, they play the witch games, and there was a lot happening. And actually, while playing the witch games, one of the other witches, a blue blood, they are a blue blood which is almost dies, and instead of winning, Manon shows sympathy and goes with Abraxas to save her, which obviously pisses off her grandmother, because you're not supposed to show sympathy or pity or any sort of emotion. You're just supposed to be cutthroat. So she saves her, saves Petra, but the Wyvern dies. So Petra is heartbroken inside. So Manon's grandmother finds a Kroken and forces Manon to kill her. Obviously, Manon has to kill her, or else her grandmother would kill Manon. Before she kills the Kroken, actually, says some stuff that's stuck in Manon's head, that you were not meant to be this way. They made you this way. You were not born evil. She made you this way, blaming the grandmother, and Manon had to rip her heart out. Yeah, so Manon killed the Kroken, and she became wing leader. So that's all is Manon's story. This was basically an intro to Manon and what the witches are, what's happening over there with Duke Pennington, what he actually wants. The next book gives more insight, and she plays a much bigger role. She plays an amazing role. She is like, besides Aelin, she is my favorite character. Yeah. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye.